Wake up, Drifter. Europe is falling, consumed by an evil disease, and you are falling as well. You've been marked by the Black Death, infected with an incurable plague. Do you remember your dream? This is your last chance to fulfill it. Your final journey to find peace. You'll have to reach for beyond the veil and embrace its dark powers. Such is your fate, Drifter. You must die, but you still can dream. Wake up, Drifter. Europe is falling, consumed by an evil disease, and you are falling as well. You've been marked by the Black Death, infected with an incurable plague. Do you remember your dream? This is your last chance to fulfill it. Your final journey to find peace. You'll have to reach for beyond the veil and embrace its dark powers. Such is your fate, Drifter. You must die, but you still can dream. Wake up, Drifter. Europe is falling, consumed by an evil disease, and you are falling as well. You've been marked by the Black Death, infected with an incurable plague. Do you remember your dream? This is your last chance to fulfill it. Your final journey to find peace. You'll have to reach for beyond the veil and embrace its dark powers. Such is your fate, Drifter. You must die, but you still can dream.
Hi everyone. Hello.
Hello.
How
How are you?
How are you
Please,
doing, guys?
as always. Hi. Hi, Raul. Hi, Michael. As always, please tell us if you can hear us, if you can see us without any problems. We are here for our very first live stream chat on Backerkit during the campaign. Frankly, it's wonderful to see
Yeah, it's
our live stream directly on the top of the campaign page.
this is
It's an entire new adventure for us. We are very excited to share with you. Thank you, Raul. Yes, we are talking about that. It has what a great launch it has been in these last exactly 24 hours. Just to show you, we are more than 82,000 euros after just 24 hours of campaign of Memento Mori. So first of all, thank you for your incredible support, all of you, and ciao. We are trying to speak English, but if there are Italians as well, please say hi so we know if we have to translate something. Well, we'll discuss of what we unlocked so far and what's await us in the near future. But yes, here we are. Hi Caterina, hi Francesco. Okay, ciao Francesco. I knew there were Italians lurking somewhere. Sorry, I just share the live. Hi, Midnight Blue. And here we are. Hi, cheers. Kisses and hugs to you all.
so this is the first live stream that we are doing during the campaign, so it should be, I think everything works fine. It's both on YouTube and on Backerkit as well.
On our Backerkit page.
So if you go to our page on Backerkit, you will see our faces live. I think that's an amazing feature. So thanks Backerkit for doing this. First of all, as Simone said, let us thank you, all of you, one more time for this amazing start of a campaign. It's really it's really huge. So we always say, we weren't expecting that it's going so great, but really it works like this when you're doing a Kickstarter campaign, a Backerkit campaign, a crowdfunding campaign, whatsoever. You are never really ready for what's coming. You start to second guess yourself. Are we doing too much? Are we doing too little? It is the right period. It is the right product, and so it's always heartwarming to see all your love, to feel all your love and support, and continuous support for us. And such a great start. It's a reason to be happy for all of us, but also it's and some kind of assurance that we might be doing something right, which is it's cool. So yeah, thank you, Francesco. Midnight Blue was asking, I know, I can see if I can fit in a very tight budget. We know it's the full pledge. It's a little bit of pricey in absolute sense, although we try to keep it as cheap as possible with all the stuff in it and with all the.
Believe us, it's a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
a lot of beautiful stuff. So it's the cheapest way to convey you all the beautiful materials of the game. Of course, just Midnight Blue and everyone whatsoever. If you're tight on budget, with just the core book, you have everything you need to play. That's the core book, the first edition as well, that Rico's holding right now. And remember that with each and every pledge, you will receive all the collection in digital format, and of course you will have the chance during the campaign or after, during the pledge manager, if you have any level of pledge, to upgrade your pledge if in the months after the campaign. So that's a possibility as well if you want to keep following the project and be sure to have something.
Yeah. So we noticed that there are a lot of you who went, all in with the Deathless Hero pledge level, where of course we're very grateful and we are very proud that you enjoy this, this huge box, all the stuff that we put in and all the details, the book-shaped box and the tarots, and we are certainly happy. But of course, you don't need the whole box to play, and you can just have the core book, and that's basically everything that you need. Also, you don't need the custom dice. You can use any kind of dice. I understand that
we are as you as well. We tend to keep everything when we like a project as well, so we know the feeling. But then yes, as you know, you always have the chance to even have everything digital pledge right now, and then thinking about it if you want, because the old digital pledge, it's very, very, very cost efficient, because there are 3 different books for just 29 euros in PDF, and also a lot of things that probably won't go on sale in PDF, like the screen on PDF just for the bakers, and the tarots in PDF just for the bakers, and so on. So it's great.
Yeah, it's that I agree with all of you on the chat. I am one of those guys that goes all in or doesn't bother to back a project. So I can definitely understand, especially I think that at the beginning when we first started doing, crowdfunding campaign, we didn't actually have, just the core book kind of pledge, because we always thought that, well, why should you, after the campaign is founded, what's the reason for buying, just one book when you can buy it, at your favorite retail store. So we usually only had bundles. Then we found out that many people actually want to buy because they want to be part of the campaign, because they are interested in the stretch goals, of course, because they want the early bird exclusive. So that's why we are doing the core book only
Solo
pledge.
core book
yeah,
pledge.
but I do get the idea of well, I am on, I am baking something, I want the whole package. Thank you. And speaking of Outgunned, sorry, I just want to share, this is, I'm sorry for the people who are not playing Outgunned or don't care about Outgunned right now. We should be talking about Memento Mori, but this just came in the mail. This is the official prototype for the Outgunned stretch goal box.
If you are asking, yes, it is soft touch.
Yeah, it's soft touch.
Our Outgunned line, everything is soft touch.
Yeah.
Memento Mori will go to a different road with this canvas-like hardcover, but we love soft touch for Outgunned and Outsold as well. So you have probably the first ever 2 pieces soft touch box in the history of board gaming.
In fact, you will notice that it's pretty dark. It won't be like this dark when it's, but it was perfect before the soft touch, and then we, as you probably know, the soft touch effect kind of dim the image. So now that's why we do prototype. So it's going to be brighter, but I wanted to show you because I think it's very cool. So yeah, sorry. This was for the Outgunned backers.
Thanks, Windy. Thank you, Raul. As you can see, we are working tirelessly on every project at once. We are not wasting any time.
No, it's going to be a busy year for us. That's for sure, because we lost a little bit the track of time last year.
Just like one bigger, thank you.
Okay. We lost a little bit of time last year with Outgunned because we unlocked so much stuff and we weren't really ready for that. But we were
overwhelmed by the amount of stuff.
But we were, driven, and we still are, to fulfill everything on time. And it's looking pretty good. Everything it's already printing. We are seeing just the last, prototype of the boxes. But it's going to be delivered perfectly in time. So very happy, very proud about that. But that's why we had to, Memento Mori was supposed to come last year, but we decided to move it forward so that we were sure that we were not, slowing things down with the Outgunned. But back to Memento Mori, someone was asking about if we are going to have an actual play on Victory Condition Gaming. That's a nice question, and actually we are definitely going to be, I believe, and I was speaking with Doug some days ago, we are definitely going to be on Victory Condition Gaming to have some kind of an interview with Doug to speak a little bit about Memento Mori. And if you don't follow Victory Condition Gaming and Doug, please start now. It's a must YouTube channel to follow. For RPG lovers, at least. I still don't know if we are going to play because it's I'm unsure if I will be able to narrate this game, to direct this game in English, because I didn't follow the English translation, but the original authors followed the English translation. So currently I'm not familiar with all the English terms of Memento Mori, and also there is a lot of difficult words, so I don't know if I would be able to do that, but we are talking with that because Doug is confident, so we'll see.
Michael says that the art is amazing. Who is the artist? What art are you referring to? The main artist for Memento Mori, as you can see in the tarots and all the black and white, I think every black and white pictures in the campaign page is made by Francesco Biagini, which is the core artist of Memento Mori. And we'll have a lot of art. As you can see, the creatures we are unlocking are the artist by Francesco Biagini, while the colored pictures, like the binding packs we are unlocking, are by Alessandro Manzella. Yes, Alessandro Manzella, another friend of us. And of course, the cover image for the screen and the slipcase is made by our colleague Daniela Giubellini, of course.
Yeah. So
was the solo artist for Afghan and uber main artist for Household, like 99% of the art of Household. I don't know.
lot of stuff. But yes, but I think all the artists who are working at Memento Mori are all amazing Italian artists. And I have really to shout out for Francesco Biagini, who did all this art, the black and white that you can see on my left. So he's doing all this new creature for the X Velum, and also the early bird exclusive that's going to be up for another 24 hours. He has an amazing, black and white trade. He's so skilled and talented, and we are so happy that he's doing the tarots as well for us. And it was really hard to have it on board because Francesco is always busy doing a lot of cool stuff. But it was extremely easy having him on board for tarots, because it was like, okay, you're doing tarots, so I'm really excited to have him on board. What about the old edition? Are the core book and the Codex Gygax different with new edition? Yes, the core book and the Codex Gygax are going to be a little bit different from the first edition, and I'm going to explain this in Italian, just for our Italian friends who are, used to the first edition. Sì, la prima edizione, allora, il core book e il Codex Gygax sono gli unici due manuali che si ristamperanno. Cambiano dalla parte estetica i materiali, cambia parte del layout, soprattutto il modo come sono date, e tantissime illustrazioni che o cambiano o proprio vengono aggiunte. Veramente tante illustrazioni nuove. Da un punto di vista di regolamento, nel bestiario, nel Codex Gygax, cambiano alcune abilità dei mostri per adeguarsi al nuovo regolamento. Il nuovo regolamento è una versione 1.5, non è un 2, non cambia tanto come è cambiato Household, ma ha solo dei ritocchi nelle regole per renderlo migliore, un po' più...
Nel base cambia nell'esposizione delle regole, che è stata resa più chiara, più comprensibile, soprattutto per quello che riguarda il ruolo del narratore, che ha più strumenti, più consigli, più esempi, più roba qui.
Ma rimangono retrocompatibili, quindi...
Sì, sono entrambi.
Però quello che non potete fare, che lo diciamo sempre, è prendere il codex da noi e metterlo nel vecchio cofanetto, perché non possiamo assicurare che con la carta diversa...
Saranno larghi uguali, oggettivamente, avendo un diverso numero di pagine, probabilmente una diversa carta, saranno molto difficilmente, mi sento di dire che probabilmente saranno diversi. Sarà un 2 mm, niente di folle, 2 mm più 2 mm di meno, ma probabilmente non rientrerà nel cofanetto.
Back to English, sorry that we wasted 20 minutes of this live talking about all the random stuff, but let me just take a minute to show you all the stretch goals that we have unlocked, because live stream are always a great chance for us, to take you through a tour.
7 stretch goals unlocked so far,
so that we can explain things a little bit better. So this was the print.
Of course, while we talk, you already done it, but if you have any kind of questions on the pledges, on the game, on the campaign, how Backerkit works, everything at all, just ask us. There will be more lives like this, but we are here just to to talk to you and to try to explain you everything as best as we can.
So, first things that we unlocked was the boogeyman. The boogeyman, so it's extremely, famous monster from the European folklore, and this is going to be added to the X Velum. This is a completely new art made by Francesco Biagini. This was the very first stretch goal, and then we moved to the Blade of Dissolution. And sorry, the creature, just so we have a minute to talk about the creature, are roughly 4 or someone possibly 6 pages in the book. So basically you have the actual creature sheet that's on the right page with all the statistics on the bottom. You have the left page, which is kind of the presentation, and then you have a couple or 4 pages of different, way to put them in your adventure, how they behave, how they're made, and all that kind of stuff. So it's cool.
Very useful, way to introduce them, because the authors always try to give you example on why the drifter would encounter this creature or fight this creature. Not every creatures are just here for a fight. Some are more complex than that, of course. Being Memento Mori, a game more deep than just random combat, and it's very, very pretty, very, very useful, because it's a lot of information, a lot of instruments for the narrators to integrate this creature inside a section or a campaign. Some of these creatures are powerful enough to just be the center of an entire campaign easily.
For example, here we have a very cool monster, which is I'm going to translate it roughly as the Genie of Heights, which is basically some kind of sprites, look like a Spriggan or something like that. And then we have pages about its aspect, different tales about this kind of creature that you can have in your adventure. And then we have some kind of challenges that you'll have to face when facing this adversary. So what they can do, what they will do, their strategy. And then there's also in this one and in many of them there is the loot, basically a kind of an artifact that you can either take or make.
Magical items, artifact, or object useful for rituals or dark magic that you will find just thanks to these creatures. Maybe talking with this creature, helping this creature, or fighting and killing this creature. So they have this like rare material from the beyond the veil that are very useful if your sessioning is going to revolve around doing magic or prepare some complex magical ritual.
The Summit Protector, thank you.
Summit Protector, thank you, Gabriel. Of course, we have.
That we are going to move to the Binding Pact in a moment, because that's one of the things that we want to talk about in this live stream, because it's hard to convey, Binding Pact if you haven't played or read all the books. So we are going to explain them a little bit. Sorry, just trying to read through all the chat. Sounds like Vaesen said Midnight Blue. I think that could be kind of like Vaesen. Vaesen, it's more of a detective kind of game, but there is this sort of natural and supernatural feelings when you don't. It's not like an OSR. You're not just slaying this creature, but you are facing this creature in different. You have to understand what they want, why they are here, if they are helpful, if they are your enemy. So that could be a good parallelism with Vaesen. And then I keep going through the question. I don't know. No, it's not a problem. It's all questions are good questions. Tutte le domande vanno bene. Grazie comunque per l'apprezzamento. Thank you. And what are we talking about? Sorry. The stretch.
Maybe
back to the stretch.
Yes, we will keep going with the stretch goal, and we will arrive to the Binding Pacts and talk about them in details.
So next stretch goal would be the Blade of Dissolution, and then but first I'll answer a question from about the first edition. I think that what we are doing with Memento Mori, this is mainly for the Italian who have the first edition. What we are doing is starting again with Memento Mori. We don't want this to be a closed project. We want to move forward in the next years. So I would recommend, if you have, the possibility, to buy the whole bundle, even if you have the first edition, because many things have changed, especially in the general lore. Many things of the Mutus Liber are not canon anymore, so I would personally take everything and start again, because this is a new edition of the game. That being said, if you don't care about following the line through the years or the collection aspect of the game, what we did for the Italian is to make the Oracle Pledge. So il pledge, quindi il livello di pledge oracolo, pensato apposta per gli italiani. Because with the Oracle Pledge, you have all the physical stuff that's not in the first edition, but you still have all the PDF of the new edition, so you can check if you see any difference. And that's what we try to do to aid the Italian who had the first edition, so they do not need to buy everything. And I hope this helps with the the choice. So back to the stretch goal, the Blade of Dissolution. This is very special stretch goal for us. I have here a sample of the handout. So the Blade of Dissolution and all the Blade of Ruin are going to be printed in a handout like this, put inside the Arcafati box, but they are also going to be added on the pages of the Ex Velum. So you either have your handout, but you also have them on paper, which is always nice to have stuff on your book. And what are the Blades of Ruin? This is something that was added by author Marco Bucci, and Marco Bucci is the author of the lore of Memento Mori, and he did the lore for this number of sword. And he also did the art himself, so he hand drawn all this sword. And this sword comes with extreme and extraordinary power. And keep in mind that Memento Mori is not a game where you have your double axe or shield or spear. This is not a fighting game. So these are the first actual magic weapon that we've introduced in Memento Mori. And we don't want to spoil too much about their powers, but once we have unlocked a few of them, we might make a pool. So you can choose your favorite one and we can spoil at least one so you can see how they will work in the game. Then we unlocked a third stretch goal and the second monster for the Ex Velum, which is the giant. I hope that you can appreciate the genius art by Francesco Biagini. I am in love with this giant with these knees that go down like mountains, and it's I think that the giant is really special for me, because when I'm playing Memento Mori, I never had a giant in my Memento Mori game. I always had kind of these creepy creatures like the boogeyman, something, is it real, is it not, is a little bit shady, hidden in the darkness, that kind of stuff. But the giant, it's something extremely real. How can people not see a giant, basically? Because only you Drifter can see this creature. And the idea that giants are parts of mountain, they are kind of moving landscape, I think it's brilliant, and it makes a lot of sense. But I still don't want to face a giant in Memento Mori.
Giant is a perfect example of a creature you're not really supposed to fight. You're not going to take your sword and try to hit a mountain. It's a mountain. It calls for a different type of game, because you can encounter a giant, understand what he wants, explore it. It's very, very deep, very, very interesting. Once you will have those creatures, you will see how many possibilities of game you will find in Memento Mori.
To answer one question about the screen, we decided to make the screen with a full color art. First, because it's really not part of the books, but it's outside of the box. So sorry if you hear an ambulance outside of the window. But so we kind of felt that we could have a little room to have Daniela on board on this project. So it's no mystery that Daniela wanted to be part of the project. We want her to put her signature on Memento Mori, so we thought it was a good compromise to have a full color art made by Daniela on the exterior of the box. And then we had this idea of making the exterior of the box, the cover of the box, an actual narrator screen, so you can also use it, not only showcase it. And yes, Raul, it's right. The X Velum has all the stuff. So half of the X Velum has all the stuff from 2 Italian books that are not going to be published in English, of course, outside of the X Velum, which are the Mutus Liber and the Memorandum, which are not going to be entirely canon anymore. So some of that it's going on the X Velum, and some of that is going to be...
Memorandum was a really, really small book, I think 80 pages, maybe 64 pages, I don't remember. So if I remember correctly, but we'll talk about it later, most of the Memorandum content will be in the X Velum. But I will check with Andrea and Marco, of course, the authors, and they know exactly what's what. And maybe in a future live I will be able to be more precise about it.
And it's always really hard for us to keep in mind all the difference between the edition, because we used to play with the authors, so that's also that's also works for our own game, because we play at different editions, at different versions of the game, ever changing in time. So we do not actually always remember what's written in what book, because it's really hard. Even when they asking me about different editions of Household, it's really hard to remember what's on paper, because for us it's a never-ending stream, of rules through the months or years in the case of Household. So easier stretch goal, dice pouch, something everyone likes, and we hope you like as well. This is probably going to be more similar to the Household patch, so then the outcome
will have an embroidered.
Yeah.
Long, I think it's pronounced embroidered.
Yeah, so something like
it will be
this.
bigger.
Yeah.
Black and bigger than the
But
Household ones, but the idea would be the same, because it will be gold on black and embroidered, not printed.
Not printed like Outgunned. And then moving on to the first binding pact. Hi, ciao. A Drifter, I don't know if Drifter...
I don't think it was the first choice, but maybe Caterina, she's our translator, will remember how the genesis for these terms was. If I recall correctly, there was a little bit of thinking about it between her and Andrea and Marco, but maybe she will pop out an answer.
To be candid here, to be honest, it's always a challenge to find that kind of name to call someone, that it's not already overused in any other game. So you are really always looking for words that can be tied to your game, to your project, so that they can have a strong meaning. And I think that Drifters works correctly. And Hans, you hear our Elizabeth saying "Wake up, Drifter." I think you already
we fell in love with the terms thanks to her.
So what can we say about the Binding Pact? Please, Simone, step in on the Binding Pact, because I'm losing my voice.
are group sheets, basically, that you will find inside your Exvelum. The cool thing is Binding Pact is a concept. You will find the way to create your own Binding Pact inside the core book. So, because it's a way to help both narrators and players to start playing as soon as possible in Memento Mori. Basically, it's a group sheet that describes the initial situation of the group of drifters and how the groups formed by giving the player and the narrator alike a series of questions that they can answer during their first sessions. And when they answered all these different questions and linking them with the introduction, like you see, like how it's called, the Campi di Morte.
The Fields of Death.
Field of Death, thank you. So you have an introduction. There was a big war. Somehow you survived this big war, and as soon as you rise from all these corpses and these battles, you discover you also have the plague, and you're all there. And from there, you have to answer a small 6, if I remember correctly, questions. And in this way, you will very, very precisely and fast build your group, your motivation as a group, why you are together, where you are going, and how this session will go on. Will it revolve around revenge and combat? No, it will be like investigation in some supernatural affair and so on. Thanks to this, in the very first session, all the players and narrators has the tools to be together and to say, okay, we know what we are playing, because Memento Mori is a very interesting system, very huge system that you can, as Ragnar Fellini here was saying before, you can use it to play a wide variety of situations. Situations set in 14th century Europe with Black Plague, of course, but a variety of situations nonetheless.
This is the cool thing about the Binding Pact is that, and by the way, you are going to have the Binding Pact on the Exvelum, but also you're going to have them printed as foldable A4 and put inside your Arcafati. And the cool thing is the first thing that these Binding Pact do, they give you an idea of a situation, of a mood, of a genre that you want to play. So that's why I was saying they are kind of the action flicks that we did for Outcan for Memento Mori, and that's why I always like them. Because, for example, Fields of Death, the first page, you have a full art made by Alessandro Manzella, a full art of our Lars, one of the pre-gen who's suffering on a battlefield. That's kind of, an supernatural figure, female figure on the back. There are crows, they are gathering to feed on the corpses of this huge battlefield, and there is a slice of text that will say what is Fields of Death. Basically, you are playing as people who were part of a big battle, and now you have
bloody battle.
Yeah, you have to escape. Basically, you are a survivor. You have to get out from the battlefield. But every kind of creature is there for you, or you have something to do before leaving, or there's something else happening. So first of all, very cool. Just one, page, 2 pages. You have everything you need to have this kind of suggestion. And I think just that it's really cool. And then on the back of this, you will have this kind of answer with questions with different answers.
Yes.
And kind of I don't know, Simone, if that could be right, but it kind of works like a PBTA sheet, where when you are making your character
or the group in a way, yes, group. Not for the single player, but you will decide what your group is doing, and etc. What is running from? Is it running from something, etc. So you will give a solid foundation, like Mick Blue say, for a group world building. That it's something we love too, as you know from our previous games.
For example, one question for Fields of Death. I don't know the final question, but what question would be, for example, what side were you on? And the answer could be you were on the winning side, so you won, but you are still a survivor, or there was no winning side, you both lost, you're all dead basically, or you were on the losing side, or Drifter were on different sides and now have to work together, but they fought one against the other. And so by answering this question, you are basically making the zero session and world building your session while playing, and it really, I think it's a really an extremely rule light and cool concept. And I'm so thrilled to say that we unlocked just another one, because we unlocked during the night, we unlocked the Siren. And please go to the Backerkit page and just zoom in on the Siren, because it's an extremely, you know, cool concept. This idea that sirens are monstrous, a kind of, you know, deep sea fishes, kind of prehistorical, you know, stuff. But also we just unlocked, just before the live, the Shipwreck, which is the second binding pact. And in the Shipwreck, you are basically playing as a group of drifter who is first attacked by a sea monster or some kind of creature that lurks in the sea or in deep waters, and then you find yourself, you know, cast away on some desert, you know, piece of land. So it's kind, as you can see, it's pretty different from Fields of Death, and it kind of broaden, you know, the spectrum of your Memento Mori adventures. And I think the Shipwreck is something that it's really cool and new, even for me. I never thought about that. And the first time that Andrea Felicioni talked to us about, you know, the idea of the Shipwreck, it immediately made sense for me, you know, to have Memento Mori in deep sea. That's something that I think it's extremely scary, and I think it will work very good for your Halloween sessions next year. If you are kind of afraid of the deep sea like me, or like any sane person out there.
Yes, it's scary. I was born on the sea. It's very scary. Also, I need to be 100% sure with Andrea and Marco, just to answer the question for Ragina Fellini. But no, the Memento Mori, this edition of Memento Mori focused around 1347, the Black Plague. So that's the historical period the game is set in. Basically.
Then I think we are running out of time, so it's time to reveal the new stretch goals.
We are
for all of us
having
fun. Okay, and sorry, and Raul, let us know if I answered your question about the binding pact, if they make more sense now. I know it's always a little bit hard to explain them, but I hope that we gave you an idea. Moving next stretch goal is the Blade of Palpitation. And this is another Blade of Ruin made by Marco Bucci. And this is kind of a gladium, so it's going to be not the shortest, one of the shortest Blade of Ruin. And coming from the Blade of Dissolution to the Blade of Palpitation, I think swords are going to get weirder and weirder and weirder.
Yes. Maybe we'll have a live maybe next week about what these Blade of Ruins actually do in the game, because it's very interesting, the kind of rule set around these blades. But we will talk about
I don't want to spoil the blades, but also I know we are saying very little. So as I was saying, probably we will do kind of a pool next week, and you know the most loved among the blades, we will just go through that.
Spotlight on it.
And then if hopefully we reach the 100,000 mark, we decided to do a little upgrade on all the books. And it's hard to upgrade those books because we already have, you know, hardcover, we already have the cloth like, you know, finish on the cover, we already have the golden lamination, so we really left little room for, you know, improvement. But we are trying. And
we are always one
here it
step.
is. You are seeing this in black and white as it's not unlocked, but we are going to add a second golden bookmark, a ribbon bookmark on every book, every edition, all three of the books. So basically right now all the books already have a ribbon bookmark, color coded, you know, as the cover of the book, but we are going to add a second one, and it's going to be golden on all three books. And the reason we are doing this is that because we were thinking about way to improve the books, and we realized this is the first time that we are doing, you know, black and white book. So it's we couldn't use our color coded, you know, chapters as we did in Outgun, Broken Compass, or Household, or whatever. So we wanted to make it easier for you to go through the books, and I think that having two ribbon bookmarks possibly will help. So you can have one on the, you know, basic rules for fast check, and one on the one that you need right now, for example your correction, your tables, your enemies, or whatever. So I hope that you will appreciate this little improvement on the book, and if you have any other idea of what we can do to make the books cooler, let us know in the comments on Backerkit, and we will try. It's really hard to make this book better than they already are. I can assure you. Yeah, so these are the two stretch goals, and then after this we will reveal a whole bunch of new stretch goals, possibly, if we manage.
Also, what we are doing in the campaign for this stretch goal is new for us. We are using another one of Backerkit tools, so let's see together how it will go. We are going to put out, how it's called? Recon Achievement.
With the
Right,
different different color, Raul. It's going to be basically the Memento Mori core book will have just one black and one gold, and then Codex Gygas will have one red and one gold. So basically you have a gold one on all the books, but also a colored one. So yeah, you can
Two different colors.
yeah, two different colors. And also gold goes with everything. As you know, we like gold, we put it everywhere. So
Every color and every,
gold.
even in Outgun, we managed to put out a lot of gold in one of killers, so gold and
Golden
everywhere.
dice, yeah, that's kind of stuff.
Yes.
Sorry, Raul. As I'm reading through comments on two different pages and using the live, I find it really hard to understand jokes, but sorry. And yeah, we are going to try this new Backerkit feature for the first time, which is called the achievement. So achievement is kind of, you know, a super stretch goal for the biggest achievement. So since this is the additional bookmark, is going to set the 1000% mark, the 100,000 euro mark, and it's also going to be an improvement for all books, all pledge levels, for retail pledge. So it's an improvement to everything. We are going to make it into an achievement. So I don't know what's going to happen. What I do know is that somewhere on the page there's going to be a banner with the achievement, and once we reach the achievement, it's going
with
to
a bar that will go up and up once we go.
And it will unlock automatically, and I don't know anything.
Yes.
I don't know how it'll work. So colored illustrations are really colored illustration and upgrade for Memento Mori. This was open to discussion, and I want to know all your feelings about that, because at first what we wanted to do, we wanted to make full color art for the opening of some chapters, like on the core book, giving a little touch of Daniela's artwork. But we tried and we printed some pages, and it kind of felt a little bit off that you're having this historical black and white book, and then you turn a page and you have full color art, and it's kind of weird. For me, it even looked a little bit weird when they did this for The One Ring by Free League, which is, by the way, an amazing book. I want to be clear, that's an absolute masterpiece, and all the illustration, the black and white illustration or the red and white illustration, and also the full color art by Martin Grip are both amazing. But for me, it feels a little bit weird, and I think that the book would have been better with just black and white illustrations. And that's the way I feel about Memento Mori too. But let us know if you agree with us, or if you would like to see here or in the future some colored artwork inside the Memento Mori books. And also then we'll have to convince Andrea and Marco, because Andrea is strongly against colorful artwork. He was against the narrator screen as well, almost.
Yes, it's okay.
Well, gold, this is something that we thought about, putting, gold inside the book. It's, it kind of makes, there's a problem with the finish of the paper. That means we cannot do on the same paper. So it was kind of, that was kind of a production problem. But we'll see. It's definitely something that sooner or later I'm going to put some gold inside the book, but up until now it's proved to be a little bit troublesome, but we're getting more experience, so I would not take this out of the equation. Simone is a little bit it's a little less convinced than me, because he's the one actually talking with the factories.
Yes, part of the beauty of Memento Mori is the uncoated paper like that of a standard book. So looking for a kind of paper that with a colored ink would be of a similar effect, or a type of ink that on a uncoated paper it wouldn't be so sloppy. It's not easy. Maybe in the future, maybe it's possible.
And
we're always trying to do better, but it's not easy. It's not an easy task.
We are learning. We are learning the trade as we do these crowdfunding campaigns, and I hope that you see that even with the the weird shaped box from Household, this big box with gold lamination, soft touch, and that opens kind of like that, we kind of pushed our boundary, and then with this fully magnetic screen that goes inside on top of the box for Memento Mori, we are also pushing our skills, our limits, and so we'll get there eventually. I think that we are definitely interested in trying everything that can be done in paper.
Yes.
Yeah, I have to say that I don't know if you can see this, but the actual Memento Mori book are a little bit warmer. That's something that
the uncoated paper, it's never 100% white.
Yeah.
Like matte or glossy paper.
So I know it's it feels a little bit cold when you're going through the PDF, because there's this digital white, but it's not going to be like that on printed paper. It's going to be warmer, it's going to be more natural, because this is natural paper. I don't know if you can see, but it looks almost yellow, on the side of this book. We thought about making the PDF a little bit more yellow, but since the book it's actually black and white, it's just the paper that it's colored, we didn't want it to be too misleading, if that makes sense. But the PDF definitely doesn't convey the warm feeling that you get by reading this. It's not a cold black and white. It's not like let me see if I can I don't know, but possibly you can tell the difference between a full definitely this is a full white paper, and this is the Memento Mori book, and I think that's a cool remark, Raul. I'm glad that you mentioned it, because that's something I wanted to show you. So as you can see, it's not really digital white or so thanks for asking, and thanks Midnight Blue. We're very proud of our little game Household. It's been an hour, a lot of stuff shown, a lot of stuff revealed. Please continue this on our Discord server, on Backerkit. put on your comments, suggestion. As you know, we are always open to suggestion, and even in Outgunned we took a couple of your ideas and made them and turned them into a stretch goal. It's going to be a little harder for Memento Mori since we have a very strict time frame, but if you propose something doable, why not? I mean, we are always looking for ideas, and you are always taking our campaigns over the expectations, so we always have to come up with something on the go. And thank you, all of you, for being here for bearing with our awful English and our thick Italian accent. And we'll see you possibly tomorrow for the 48 hours. We'll see where we go, if we have something else to to show you or to reveal together. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. See you soon. Of course, we are in the what's called the community section. You can pop up a discussion or answer on discussion. We are here as much as we possibly can.
Keep following your dream, drifters, and we'll see you next time.
Yes, always.
Wake up, drifter. Europe is falling, consumed by an evil disease, and you are falling as well. You've been marked by the Black Death, infected with an incurable plague. Do you remember your dream? This is your last chance to fulfill it. Your final journey to find peace. You'll have to reach for beyond the veil and embrace its dark powers. Such is your fate, drifter. You must die, but you still can dream.